So good afternoon, everyone. It is so great to be here in beautiful O'Donnell Heights on a beautiful Saturday afternoon at O'Donnell Heights Boys and Girls Club. It's great to be here with our Senate President, Senator Ferguson, who's here today, our Delegate Brooke Learman, our fabulous Councilman Zeke Cohen, our Housing Authority. There you are, ma'am. CEO Janet Abrams, good to be here with you, ma'am, and also our Director of Homeless Services, Irene Augustine, is also here today, and everybody in O'Donnell Heights, but most famously, the best welcoming party a mayor can get these young people from O'Donnell Heights. Let's give them a round of applause. As you know, Baltimore continues to be, and has been for many, many generations, plagued by housing instability, a challenge that has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. We are here today to say that we see the need in our communities and are committed to providing quality, affordable housing for our residents. Back in March, I announced the largest housing investment in our city's history, $100 million in ARPA funding to address housing loss, insecurity, blight in our most communities in need. Supporting affordable housing and creating stable neighborhoods is critical to ARPA's mission of assisting disparately impacted residents and communities, and a central piece of our priority pillar in my action plan to ensure equitable neighborhood development. As a part of that allocation, I am committing $2.9 million to restart Phase 2A of the Key Pointe Development Project right here in O'Donnell Heights. This is a project that was heavily impacted by the onset of the pandemic, something that for our residents here in Southeast Baltimore has been a long time coming. And I am honored to be able to fill the gap and fulfill the city's commitment to its longtime residents in O'Donnell Heights. This is an exciting development, and we are proud to be able to get it back on track. We are saying no more broken promises, no more disinvestment, and we are putting our, it's a good celebration thing right there. And we are putting our money where our mouth is by building high quality, affordable, and modern housing units for residents in need. And that is something that we all throughout Baltimore can get excited about. In another way, we are working to build more affordable housing throughout our city. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for remaining commitment to O'Donnell Heights. Thank you, O'Donnell Heights, for being patient with us as we got our act together. And now I will turn it over to your councilman, my friend, Councilman Zeke Cohen.
I'm slightly taller than the mayor, so I'm going to lift this up. Let me begin with some real quick thank yous. Huge shout out to Janet Abrams from HABC, as well as Limbit Yogi, Chris Ryer and Matt DeSantis from Planning, Alice Kennedy from Housing, Michael's Development and AHC, and the 46 city-state delegation for their steadfast support for this project and this work and this community. And of course, let's give a huge thank you to our mayor, Brandon Scott, for making this next stage of development a reality. But mostly, I want to thank the residents of O'Donnell Heights, Medford, Graceland Park, Chia, and Browning Highway, who worked together for the last 3 years to redesign, re-envision, and reimagine what this community could look like. O'Donnell Heights has a proud history. The housing here dates all the way back to World War II. The people that lived here molded steel and built aircraft carriers that liberated Europe and won the war. People made a good life for themselves. But like most public housing in America, the Heights was all but abandoned by the federal government. No money for maintenance, buildings left to deteriorate and decay. The disdain for which we treat residents of public housing is a stain on our nation's conscience. And so in 2008, facing an endless amount of upkeep, mold, and other environmental hazards, city leaders committed to a process of demolition and redevelopment. residents were told they'd be able to return. In 2014, we built the first phase of Keys Pointe, which you can see over there. It's beautiful, safe, mixed income housing. But after putting up the first series of houses, we no longer qualified for the 9% low-income housing tax credits that finance the project. And so after demolishing about 670 units of permanently affordable public housing, we were only able to build about 144 units of new housing. We displaced over 500 families, their lives uprooted, their memories scattered to the winds. When I took office in 2016, we promised that O'Donnell Heights would no longer be left behind. I'm proud that since then, Southeast Baltimore has been booming. The first district grew by over 4,500 people in the last census. You see cranes all over the skies building new buildings and businesses. But none of that matters if our border communities out here are left to fend for themselves. In 2019, we decided it was time to start building again in O'Donnell Heights. We needed a new master plan. And we knew that this time we needed to incorporate the surrounding communities in the planning process. Because the divide between O'Donnell Heights and its neighbors is a modern manifestation of segregation that has alienated communities from each other. We put together a steering committee of neighbors from Graceland Park, Medford, Broning Highway, Chia, and O'Donnell Heights. And if the steering committee members could just raise their hands, please. Edie. Awesome. Folks like Pastor Thomas, Edie, Shaquanda, who understood that regardless of which neighborhood you live in, we're all neighbors here. We rise or we fall together. In partnership with our office, with HABC, Planning and Design Collective, and our folks from the 46th District, this scrappy group built a brand new master plan. They refused to let a global pandemic get in the way. This is what community development by community and for community looks like. But, like so many plans, without the funds to finance it, it was just a pretty piece of paper. So Director Janet Abrams and I started turning over couch cushions to find $24.4 million. We fell a few million short. That is until Mayor Scott committed the $2.9 million from the American Rescue Plan Act money. When we asked for this money, Mayor Brandon Scott never even blinked. Although I did almost have to kidnap his chief of staff. True story. We made a commitment that this neighborhood would no longer be left behind. And today, Mayor Scott, Brooke Learman, Senate President Ferguson, we live up to that commitment. This is a moment for O'Donnell Heights and all of our border neighborhoods to rise. We have two brand new, beautiful LEED certified schools. You can see one right over there. Business is booming up and down the Broning Highway corridor and throughout the Port of Baltimore. We will build a new park thanks to the hard work of our friends in the 46th District that will stitch neighborhoods back together. And most importantly, today's announcement means that residents of O'Donnell Heights are coming home. Pastor Thomas, your dad is smiling on us from heaven. With that, I want to bring up our Senate President, President Bill Ferguson.
Good afternoon. I'm a little bit shorter, so I'm going to return it back to the mayor's level. I think the mayor still beats me with his jump ball, though. So, look, what an exciting day, huh? This is pretty incredible. Beautiful weather. Look, the ODH teens, at the end of the day, fundamentally, this is about the people of O'Donnell Heights. This is about the families who have been dislocated for now almost 2 decades. Plans after community meetings, after another charrette and another planning session and another one. Well, here we are today to say the money is here. So I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank Councilman Cohen. I want to thank Janet Abrams. But most importantly, I want to thank the residents and the community leaders who have stuck through and demanded better. Because there's only one way things change. There's only one way things change. It's organized people with organized money that organize around a plan that works. What we have here and what has been formed, what has come together with the 4 neighborhoods over these last few years through the pandemic, that was the organized people. What we're celebrating today with the ARPA funds is organized money. I'm also so pleased to be able to announce that we will be putting $500,000 towards the brand new park to make sure that we can connect these brand new buildings with these incredible public assets. And this is what the state of Maryland is able to do when organized people and organized money come together around a plan that works. And that's what we have here today. I do want to say what I'm also so excited about is that this year in the General Assembly session, we were able to allocate $640 million to the state's Department of Housing and Community Development. That will be the funds that will be able to ensure that we do not just the housing and the building, but really build the community around this incredible project. Because the young people and the families of O'Donnell Heights, not only they deserve it, not only should they have been demanding it, but we're here to say we're getting it done. With that, I want to hand the mic over to our next comptroller of the state of Maryland, but currently the delegate for the 46th district, along with Luke Klippinger and Robin Lewis, Delegate Brooke Learman, who has been an absolute champion, and none of this would have happened had we not gotten that fateful email from Edie in the middle of session saying, "We've got this incredible idea," followed by Brooke saying, "We're going to get this done because Edie says we have to get it done." And so here we are, without further ado, Delegate Brooke Learman.
You stole my story. No, a huge thank you. I'm Brooke Learman. I'm so honored for the past 8 years to have been one of the 3 state delegates representing District 46 and representing beautiful, wonderful people of O'Donnell Heights. It has been such an honor from the first day that I started door knocking and meeting many of you as I was door knocking around the neighborhoods till today, and moving forward to be in this fight with all of you to build a neighborhood that's really worthy of our kids. And so a huge thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to our great Councilman Cohen. Thank you to our wonderful Mayor, Brandon Scott. Thank you to Bill, Luke, and Robin. And a huge thank you to all of you and to all you kids for not giving up and for making sure your parents get to those community meetings and making them, all of us, so proud. You know, I want you all to know that this year, there are some legislators around the state who really want to build our new schools to be the most sustainable and the most environmentally friendly that they should and could be. And when the Senate president and others started talking about where we should go to see what those new schools, what schools should look like in Maryland, we brought them here. Because these are what schools around the state should look like. And we're so proud to have them here in Southeast Baltimore and O'Donnell Heights. And now I'm so proud both of the housing, but also of the park that's coming. You know, one of my favorite quotes is a quote by Shakespeare, who I don't quote a lot, but he said, "One touch of nature makes the whole world kin." And that's what this park is going to be about. It's going to make all of Southeast kin, because all of our family here in Baltimore City, we all deserve the most amazing parks and playgrounds and rec spaces to form memories, to grow, and to become who we're going to be. And so one of my biggest priorities in this, my final legislative session, was to squeeze every single penny that I could from the state to build new, beautiful parks in Baltimore City and here in District 46. And it's coming to O'Donnell Heights. Yes. And that only happened because of all of you residents, for speaking up, for sending those emails, for Janet for having a plan and putting it forward, and to Zeke for continuing to advocate. Thank you all so much for the honor to represent you. I continue to be your neighbor and your friend, and I'm excited to bring my kids to play in the park. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Thank you, Senator. Thank you very much for always bringing home the bucks, and this year bringing home more money than we've ever seen in our lifetime. So thank you very much. And now we're going to hear from really a woman who is so dedicated to public housing and affordable housing. She doesn't need any introduction, but our President and CEO of Housing Authority of Baltimore City, Janet Abrams.
everyone. Again, Janet Abrahams. I keep hearing Abrams. It's Abrahams. It's okay. I just wanted to, my communications person, she said, make sure you say Abrahams. So I did. All right. So we have completed to date 144 units. And as the councilman said, you can see those units. They're called Pointe. We can now accelerate this program, right? So one of the things, the pace can be picked up. And I want to thank our partners that assisted us in making sure that we can pick up the pace. Our partners at the city, our partners at the state, and at the federal level. Councilman Cohen, you have been a consistent advocate for the residents of this community, and for that, I thank you. I want to also thank Mayor Scott for allocating the monies from the recent ARPA funds. It will be instrumental in bringing this development to fruition. But I would be remiss if I didn't thank the champions that lined up outside my office practically every single day, making sure that I understand what's in the plan and how much they need. That will be Limbit, ladies and gentlemen. Limbit has been a rock star in trying to make sure. And for every day I tell him no, he went and found something else to bring it back. That included the park. Because that park, from the 46th delegation, which I thank them, it was Limbit who came to me and said, Janet, we need to write a letter. And it needs to go to boom, 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 boom. Okay, no problem, let's take care of it. And then he said to me, oh, we need to also put something else in it for the rest of the phases. So thank you, Limbit. I also want to thank Chris Early. He's the development partner from Michael's Development, and also Mary Claire Davis. This is the partnership that will be building this new housing. This day is so gratifying because 62 units worth $24 million will be coming to that side of O'Donnell. For decades, this property has remained vacant. And this was one of the first properties that I was introduced to when I came here in 2017. We are now seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to especially thank the members of the community who have stayed involved and patient. Ladies and gentlemen, this took a whole lot of patience because we're talking 16 years of displacement and of trying to get this project back on track. We have always had the residents in mind as we work hard to provide you with safe, decent, affordable housing. You may not believe this, but this property is in the top 5 largest of the housing authority. We're talking 62 acres. We have demolished, there were 900 units here at this property at one time. Now we only have 233. So the magnitude of what it's gonna take to rebuild this community is huge. But with somebody like Limbit pushing this forward, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, he will keep it in front of me and I will make sure that I listen to him. Because that's what it's gonna take. So thank you all for being here today. Thank everybody, because I promise you by next summer, we will be back cutting the ribbon. Right, Mary Claire and Chris? All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Janet. And now we will hear from members of our community, and I'm going to put us in church and ask everyone to come in this following order. As they say in the church, we'll hear first off, we'll hear from Pastor Thomas, then Shaquanda Holmes, and lastly from Eddie Schumann. Pastor Thomas? Edie. Oh, Edie. Sorry about that.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the Honorable Mayor Brandon Scott, to Councilman Cohen, to Delegate Brooke Learman, to all of our state and local officials, to our community partners. What a joyous day this is. I'm going to say that again. What a joyous day this is. Amen. How special it is to be back here for this press conference. It was back in 2007, 2008. where the original steering committee met with Limbit Yogi and with other members of the community. My dad, the late Reverend Stephen Thomas, the late Nancy Granger, Elaine Welke, who was here, Michelle Holmes, and others who came together to hear from the city, to express their concerns about how to make this community great and greater. As you all know, for years this community has made do with all that it had, and the city recognized that it was time to advance this community, to advance housing. And we experienced, as you've heard, years of having to wait, but this community did not get tired by waiting. And I want to salute each and every member of the community that stayed tenacious, that stayed consistent, that continue to allow your voices to be heard. It's because of each and every one of you that we are here today. So I'm grateful. I salute each and every one of you, and I look forward to the great things that are yet to be done. Thank you.
So he's taller than I, so I have to pull it down. So I am Shaquanda Holmes, and I am the Southeast United president of the community. And I'm excited because not only did I have a chance to work with the steering committee, thank you, Zeke, thank you, Lambert, and I also grew up in this community. So I am excited to what is about to happen. So I'm willing and I'm ready to work with everybody, all the leaders, because our children deserve more, our teens deserve more. And thank you, Mayor Scott, for being here as well. So I'm excited. Amen.
Good afternoon again. My name is Edie Schumann, and I'm president of the Graceland Park Improvement Association. And for those of you who don't know, we're one of the neighborhoods that surround O'Donnell Heights to the east. We're just kind of right across Sundalk Avenue on this side. And we've been very honored and privileged to be a part of this planning process. So the sun is shining, and today is a great year for the O'Donnell Heights community and the surrounding neighborhoods. Central Park is very important. I just want to say from a community standpoint, I know we've heard from some of our leaders, but from a community standpoint, we're really glad to see the funding for the park to begin. As we all know, in Graceland Park, we have no open space in Graceland Park. We have plenty of parking, though, but we have no green space to call home. And as we all know, that in any thriving community and neighborhood, you need to have open space, some place where people can stretch your legs and actually make it a place where you want to call home. So, and I know, as mentioned in previous speakers, that our community plans have fallen through in the past, largely due to lack of funding. But today is a new day, a new beginning. And thanks to our 46 delegations, Senator Ferguson and Delegate Learman, as well as Zeke's Cohen office, who's been leading the effort on the city side, and the Housing Authority and Lambit, and all the city leaders, and Brandon Scott. I want to thank you too for putting this funding together for us. We can actually get started on the design process for the Central Park here. So, and we hope in the future, we have kind of envisioned it to see it as a place where we can all gather together, neighbors and surrounding neighborhoods together, all as one, where we can actually get together and play. So, but today, and I speak as a community leader, so if any community members are here, this is just the beginning of the process. So we have the money, but we have a tremendous amount of work ahead of us in terms of designing the park. So we're going to need everybody's input, and we're going to need everybody to participate in the future meetings. And I know the ones that have been here for years, we welcome some of your ideas and some of your memories of the neighborhood. I know I've lived in Graceland Park my entire life. I still do now. I'm not planning on leaving anywhere. I have a granddaughter that's going to be going to Holabird in a couple of years, so I look forward to being an active part of that school again, as I was when my kids were going through there. So we look forward to engaging the community coming up, and I encourage everybody to stay track of the meetings upcoming. Again, we need your input, we need your ideas. If, in addition to any channels of communication that you already have in terms of learning of our meetings and input meetings. You're always welcome to like the Graceland Park Improvement Association's Facebook page. I always post news and information on that so that we can continue to engage the community, not only Graceland Park, but any other surrounding communities or any of the neighbors, or if you don't even belong to a neighborhood association. We welcome your input. So again, I want to thank everybody. There's just so many people I could thank. I could take the next 10 or 15 minutes to do that. But I want to thank all of our city delegation, our state, the residents, housing authority, and everybody that was even praying for us to get to this point. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you for coming, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you in the future. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Edie. Thank you. And as we close, I want to recognize Mr. Barnes, the president of the Tenant Council, and then ask these fine folks out there if you have any questions for us. If not, thank you. DJ is on you. Now we're going to party. There we go.